Hey everybody, Pat here, Alabama Travels. Um, Told you guys I had an interesting first trip out, so I'm going to tell you all about it right now. So many things happened that were crazy that I had to write them down so that I don't forget anything. Let's start with a few months ago. We had our trailer we took our trailer to a RV maintenance place to have them go through the trailer from front to back to make sure that everything was good and ready for us to hit the road. I had them check the brakes on the trailer, pack the bearings, um, look for any issues they may find. And they did find a few things. They had it for a couple of weeks. We actually had um, a button on our control panel had gone out that didn't allow us to open the slides, and so they had to replace the control panel and things like that. So when it was done, a little bit of money later, a lot of bit of money later, the trailer was ready to be picked up. So we drove up, we picked it up, and we took it back to our storage facility with the peace of mind that, hey, they went through, the pros looked at it, everything's great. We're going to be good to hook up and roll when we get ready in the next few months. Um, Jump to February 28th, this past Saturday. We decided, since we were going to leave March 1st, Sunday, first thing in the morning, that we wanted to um, take and load as much stuff in the trailer Saturday as we could, so we didn't have to deal with that Sunday morning. We wanted to get an early start, so we loaded up our clothing and some dry goods for the pantry, dry food. Um, got up here, so got up there, loaded everything in, and so hey, we're good to go. We're ready to roll. One thing I wanted to do before we left there was to check the pressures on my trailer tires and air them up if needed. Normally, when a trailer sits for a while on mine, the tires lose pressure. And I know it had been sitting for a while, so I knew that the tires were going to need to have some air put in them. I've got a little compressor that I keep in the trailer. Pulled it out and got ready to hook it up, and realized that I had taken the power cord for it home to use on at the house, and I had left it. Okay, no problem. We'll do it first thing tomorrow morning before we leave. It shouldn't take just a few minutes to hook up, add some air to the tires. I did notice that the tires were down about 10 psi. Uh, Trailer tire pressure is critical. If you blow a tire, not only does it mess the tire up, but it shreds and damages the trailer. It's a mess, and you don't want that. So, very critical to have those pressures right. So, jump to Sunday morning. We get up, we have our coffee, we're excited. We jump in the truck and we head over to hook up the trailer. When we pull in, my wife says, "There's something hanging underneath the trailer." I said, "What do you mean there's something hanging under the trailer?" She said, "There's something that's not right. It's just something hanging there. It's not supposed to be there." So I get out and look, and sure enough, um, the underside of the trailer has these 4 foot by 3 foot panels. There's several of them along the bottom that cover the bottom from front to back to protect the underneath side of the trailer when you're traveling. And one of those was hanging down. It was not in place. So I crawled under the trailer and assessed what was wrong, and found out that uh, whoever the guys that had worked on my trailer had apparently pulled that panel off for some reason and put it back. You can put it tuck it under the frame on top of the frame, but where the panels meet, there's an overlap, and there were screw holes, and there was not a screw in any of the holes on either side. So whoever put the panel back in didn't put the screws in, and apparently it had vibrated and rattled and come loose on our trip back from the where we picked it up to where we parked it. Thankfully, it didn't fly out from under there, number one, while we were driving and hurt somebody behind us, but number two, damage anything under the trailer. So immediately, my wife said, "Well, maybe we need to run and go get some screws somewhere." And I thought, "Oh man, okay, let's assess this." So I looked at my tool bag before we left to go get screws, and found out I had a couple of bags of screws that worked. So had my drill, had my screws, crawled back under there, and I'm getting filthy dirty this whole time, and I was all clean, dressed, ready to roll. Got the panel reattached and secured. Um, Climbed out from under there, and of course I'm dirty from head to toe. Um, I had a shirt in the trailer because we brought our clothes, so I swapped shirts. My wife cleaned off the back of my head. There's no hair there to keep any grit and grime from getting. So I had gravel stuck to my head. My hands were pitch black, filthy dirty. I had a bottle of water, cleaned those, and so got that done. And it's like, okay, let me get these tires aired up, and then we're on the road. Pulled out the compressor, hooked it up, hooked it to the tire, gave it power. It died. It did not work. So my air compressor dead. I had no way to air up my tires where I was. So our thought process was, um, we were there about 20 minutes down the road in the direction we were going. We knew there was a truck stop, and we had decided we wanted to weigh our trailer on their scales. We've done that before just to see what our full weight was, a loaded weight, because we hadn't done that before, to see where we were. So I said, you know what, we're just gonna take our time and ease on down the road. When we get there, we'll weigh the trailer, and then I'm gonna air the tires up there because they'll have an air. Um, Got there, weighed the trailer, no problems with that, and then got around to the air pump, and I don't know if you guys have filled up lately with one of those, but it used to be what, 25, 50 cents, $2.50 for about 5 minutes worth of air compressor time, and they take credit cards. So we hit the card 3 times to get enough air in the tires where I was comfortable we were going to be okay. Um, so got air, got my panels fixed. Let's go. We're ready to do this. We head towards Atlanta. When we get to Atlanta, I did not want to go through downtown Atlanta. I was a little nervous about the traffic through there, so we went on the bypass. And as is par for the course for Atlanta, traffic was brutal. This is even on a Sunday afternoon, but there was wrecks that slowed us down. I think we had 2 or 3 red areas on the map where we never stopped. It wasn't a parking lot, but we were crawling pretty slow for a little bit. Um, and I'm not complaining about that part because that's par for the course. That's what we're in for as travelers. Um, so I'm slow down, just get through it. Don't worry about it. As we're going to probably run into that a good bit as we travel the country. So we get through that, and then we want to stop and top off our diesel tank before we get to the campsite. So we got a full tank of gas. Pretty cool thing my wife found. There's a website where you can sign on, and you get a discount on diesel gas at participating truck stops. And basically, the only time when I'm pulling a trailer, the only place I'm gonna stop is a truck stop anyway, because they have the high roofs and room for us to get in and out of there. So we would pull in where the diesel trucks do. So we used that, and it did save us money on the gas. That was pretty cool. So we're looking forward to using that, continuing to save us money on gas. Got our gas, got back on the road, got to the campsite, checked in, no problems there. We had prepaid, everything was good. We got to our site, our campsite, and a little bit small for my 42 foot trailer and 16-foot truck, but it's just fit. Um, our procedure is that Mel will get out and call me on the phone, and she'll guide me back into our spot. As long as I do what she says, she gets us in the right spot, where it needs to be. So, got it backed in, no problems. I let the hydraulic stands down. I disconnected from the truck, moved the truck out of the way, hooked up power, and then once power was hooked up, she pulls the slides out. We have 4 slides. As she was pulling out one of the slides, I saw that it was going to hit the water faucet. So, uh, one of our slides we were not able to get out all the way because it would have, like I said, it would have hit the water faucet, which would have damaged the trailer, and we wouldn't have been able to use the water faucet anyway. So to resolve that, I had to reconnect the truck to the trailer, hook it back up, lift all the legs, and pull up about 2 feet to give clearance for the slide to go over the water faucet. So moved up 2 feet, let everything back down, disconnected the truck, got my power hook back up, got the slide out, so we're good. Hooked my water up and to the faucet, and then hooked the water to the trailer. Turned the water on, and it wasn't but just a couple of seconds, and I noticed water pouring out of the trailer in places it shouldn't be pouring out of, which indicated to me I got a problem. So I immediately shut the water off, and it dawned on me right then and there that um, I knew what it was. About 2 months ago, I had gone to the trailer. It was parked in its storage facility. There's no water there. There's only 110 power, but I wanted to replace the two faucets in the bathroom. I have two sinks with a good, durable metal faucet. The little cheap plastic ones they put in RVs were starting to degrade and didn't look good, and I just wanted to get rid of those. So I had done that on a weekend, and the left faucet went on no problems. Everything was smooth. I felt good about the install there. But the right one, by the time I got to it, I was tired. It was hot because I didn't have air in there. I was sweating. And to make it more difficult, you put the faucet in, but you've got to reach up behind the sink because the sink is glued in. And so it's basically by feel. And you're trying to get these stiff plastic pipes lined up and hooked up to the bottom of the faucet. And I was struggling with that. And I thought I had it, but I wasn't sure. So I told myself in my brain, when we hook up next time, when you turn the water on, have Mel stand there just to make sure that you've got them on tight, that there's no issues. And I'd forgotten that, and there was issues. I did not have the water lines on securely. They were cross-threaded, so they weren't making sealing. And so water, I dumped a couple of gallons of water in the bottom in the trailer, in the storage area, the cabinets under the trailer, and it was just running out. So immediately shut the water off, and then I had to come up with a solution for that because all the water's all onto the trailer or all off. At home, if you've got a faucet that's bad, you just go into the sink and turn the water off to that individual faucet, and then you can deal with it whenever. Take your time. But if I want water anywhere else in the trailer, toilet, kitchen sink, other sink, I have to have a good solid tight water line. Well, luckily, I had saved the old faucet that I took out, and I had it with me. So I pulled the water lines out of the cabinet and hooked them to the old faucet and just had it hanging there just so that I could seal off the water lines there and have water everywhere else in the trailer. Turn the water on. Luckily, no leaks. The other faucet I put in, no leaks. Kitchen faucet, everything was good. So I was just too tired to deal with that and didn't really have time. I thought, as long as I get water to the trailer, which I did, I'll fix it in a couple of days or whatever. So as we're checking things out, Mel lets me know that we have another issue. We had one of the cabinets in the pantry. Now, all of there's shelving in the cabinet in the pantry, and each shelf has a piece of wood going across the front. It's about 2 inches high, and it's designed to keep stuff from sliding off. When the trailer is being pulled and you hit a bump or something, you feel it in the truck, but it's magnified big time in the back. I mean, the jumping and the swaying, the bouncing in the back of the trailer is magnified many, many times. And so we had a learning process. We had accidentally put some heavy items on that shelf that were sliding and banging, and something hit that end piece and pulled it off. And of course, everything on the shelf fell down into the cabinet on the floor. Luckily, nothing broke. There was no crap to clean up, no spaghetti sauce or anything like that. But so now I've got to fix the shelf. I've figured out what I got to do. I just got to get some stuff to do it with from a hardware store, and so I haven't gotten that one yet. I did the next day go ahead and fix the faucet. It took me a while, but I got the water lines attached to the new faucet. Water's good there, no leaks or anything like that, so we're good there. Um, so our first day here, we went into Anderson, South Carolina, because I had grown up there and I wanted to, see my old house and school and stuff like that. And we thought, hey, while we're there, we'll buy an air compressor. A friend of ours had recommended a good air compressor, a battery operated that he's had and used. He said it's fabulous. He's got a mobile home, and so a motorhome, excuse me. So we looked up, and the Home Depot there in Anderson had them in stock. So we thought, okay, we'll stop by and grab one of those, and then we'll have it. Uh, so we did. We stopped. We got the compressor. We got a battery and charger. Um, by the time we got back to the trailer, it was dinner time, and then we were too tired to screw with that. So I thought, okay, tomorrow morning I'll get up and just check my pressures on everything, and try out my new compressor. So get up next morning, unbox, charge the battery, put it in. Everything's good to go. Come outside and hook it to the trailer tire and push the on button, and it doesn't run. It just it tries to run but stops. Tried it on different tires, would not work. Disconnected the chuck from the tire and just turned it on with the chuck open, and it ran, and it was blowing air out. I said, something's not right. Tried it again, wouldn't work. Called Milwaukee, it's a Milwaukee compressor. Called them and talked to their tech service and explained what was going on. And apparently they've had this problem before, because the lady said, yeah, she said, unfortunately, there's a problem with the chuck. You can send it to us. It'll take 10 days for us to fix it, turn around to you, or you can go back to Home Depot and swap it out. And I said, well, ma'am, I'm on the road. I won't be able to send it to you. I said, I'll just ride back into town and swap it out. So loaded everything back up and had another 30-minute one-way, hour round trip ride back to Anderson just to swap out the compressors. Luckily, they had one more in there. I swapped it out. They were great. Got out to the truck, and I wanted to test it. So I tried it out. I brought the battery with me. I tried it out on my truck before I left to make sure that it was going to work, and it did. So um, got that problem resolved, if you will. Um, so after that, the dust's finally settling, and everything's good. I've still got to fix the shelf. I've got some other little projects. I bought some soft starts for my air conditioners that I'm going to put on at some point, maybe next week. Weather's good. I'll climb up there and do that. But all the bugs and the kinks, I think we've got so far, knock on wood, worked out. Hopefully, the bad juju that we got at the beginning of the trip is gone. Um, it was definitely, you almost have to laugh. It was so much that went wrong. But it's a learning. It's a learning process, and we are learning every day. We're going to make this our permanent home, and it's going to be what we live in. And so we're learning things to do and not do, and things to get and not get. So we went and bought yesterday. We went and bought some little plastic bins to kind of organize stuff in the cabinet, so it's not sliding around, in the bathroom as well. So we're getting there. I'll definitely do a walkthrough of our trailer and show you some of the things we've done at some point, and point out some of the things that we recommend. But so we are getting ready to pack up. We're going from Pendleton to Greenville, South Carolina, up the road about an hour. Um, Normally, when we did our weekend trips, we would come through and clean the trailer from stem to stern and make sure everything was nice and pretty and neat. Well, since we're just going up the road an hour, we're going to camp again. We're definitely just going to secure everything, make sure that nothing is going to fly around back there if we hit some bumps or something. Um, we are just getting ready to move to a new location and try that out. So once we get there, I'll do another video, let you guys kind of see where we are and what we're doing, because that's what this is all about. We want to share where we are and what we're doing with all of you. So um, I look forward to sending out another video. Any of you that haven't joined us, we'd love it if you would like and subscribe. We'd love to have you follow along with us. I'm Pat with Calabama Travels. We will talk to you next time.